Hi Brandon, this is Alan Cockrell with ABC, former hitting coach for the Colorado Rockies and the Seattle Mariners. I'm going to take a look at your video this morning. We're going to draw some lines and go through some of the important phases of the swing, things that I talk to my hitters about quite often. The first thing that we're going to look at is your setup. And the one thing we want to keep in mind throughout this entire phase, from setup to load to first move with the lower half, first move with the hands, into the swing, and then through contact and finish, is balance. Balance is absolutely paramount. And for me, balance is just simply keeping our knees inside our feet, all right, and our head inside of our knees. If we start to get sway back here with our head over our backside or sway forward, then we're going to put ourselves in a difficult situation to control the barrel. The same goes with these knees right here. If these knees get outside of our feet, okay, they get outside of our feet, then we're in a tough situation or a tough position to control the barrel of the bat. All right, so you look pretty good right here in your setup. Setup is probably the one area that you're going to see the most variance in style or preference. It is a preference for hitter to hitter, but the balance, knees inside the feet and the head inside the knees, is going to be pretty much paramount with all hitters. So we're going to run this thing forward. We're going to go into the load phase, okay? When we get to the load phase, the first thing that you're going to see is the toe touches, okay? But the load is not fully complete until we get to heel plant. And when we get to heel plant and that heel gets down on the ground right here, right there, we're now into the load phase where we're preparing to see the ball and then put our swing on it. So now we're going to go back to talking about your balance position. Okay, knees inside, your head's inside. We've got just a little bit of forward movement with this front knee. When that front knee starts to move forward like that, then we're going to get a quick hip. This hip is going to start to fly open, and it's going to cause some difficulties in staying on balls that are outer half of the plate, outer third of the plate, change-ups to lefties that are running down and away from you. So we want to try to stay square with our hips, okay, square here, and we want to try to keep this knee more into this position inside your foot, as opposed to this knee getting out here over your front foot. All right, we're going to go back here one more time, and another thing that I look for is to make sure that we are not more open than 45 degrees with this stride foot. And you're at 52. It's not bad. It's a little bit more open than I would like to see it, but I would rather see it more into this area, which is going to be more of a 45, more into this way. So we're just going to close it up just a little bit and try to keep this knee inside that front foot. Okay. Now we go into the swing phase. Okay, as you can see here, we're still kind of carrying our weight forward over this front knee out here, and it's just causing this front hip to want to leak open, and everything's going to the pull side. I do like what your back knee is doing. It is driving into the front thigh of the stride leg. I just like to keep this front hip just a little bit more closed, and this knee just a little bit inside this foot in this position. This front side needs to receive the energy that the backside is generating. So if the knee stays inside, then the weight is transferred, or the energy is transferred more into the front thigh. Okay? The next phase that we'll go to is what our hands are doing. Our hands are starting to work forward. We call this the connection. I want to see the hands, the elbow, and the back hip in alignment. If our hands get ahead of this back hip before we get this elbow into this connected position, we now have hands working in front of the power source. We want our hands to work after the power has been delivered with the lower half, And in this position, again, it's a more pull-oriented swing, and it's a swing that's not quite as conducive to driving balls that are middle to middle away. All right, we're going to go forward. We're going to go to contact. Okay, your hands have worked forward. I will say this, buddy. I really, really like what you're doing with head knives. Your head knives are looking right down the barrel. We're going to run this forward to contact. Head knives are still looking right down the barrel. I see a really good, strong position with your hands. Palm up, palm down. That's a good position. And then once we get to extension, I see good extension with the barrel facing the pitcher, and that just says that you've gotten through this ball very, very well. Okay, we'll run it through to the follow through area. Follow through area is good. You're under balance. Done a good job keeping your weight on the inside part of this front foot so that we don't spin. Basically, we don't spin on that heel and come off the ball more. But the biggest thing that I would do is I would set balls on a tee, outer half, just even with your front foot or just inside your front foot. I would really work to get into my loaded position where the heel is planted. I would make sure that my foot's no more open than a 45, and then I would try to let my backside drive into my front side, the back knee drive into that front thigh, and make sure that this front knee right here is staying inside that leg as I start my swing. And if you do that, I think with your balance and your hand-eye coordination, it's not going to hurt you at all in handling the ball in. It's only going to help you handle the ball middle away, outer half, outer third. It's definitely going to help you with off-speed pitches, namely the changeup. So anyway, Brandon, I appreciate you coming to our camp, and I wish you